Hey, this is Max. I'm back with another CSR2 video. So, the F40 Gold Cup is now active. And here I have my Elite F40 that I've had for quite some time and is ready and able to take this cup on. Now, I have done quite a few of the races already. I'm actually up to race 23. And I can show you, obviously, with a fully maxed at 40, all these races are very easy. So at what point does it get to be difficult for someone who's not fully maxed? Well, right about race 24 to 25 is when things starts to get kind of hairy. What happens is that at this point, the time starts to jump downward from the very easy 16, 18, 15 seconds to about 13. Now, if you are running a stage 5 only car and you have all fusions, you would actually be running about a 12.4. Okay, so this car is very quick. Stage 5 only with full fusions is quick as last season's PC car, the ACS i8 fully maxed. So that's impressive. So once this car is fully maxed, it is even quicker, and it's quite capable of taking on the final challenge. However, what's interesting about this car is what I'm about to show you after I get done with this race. Just how many stage 6 are you going to need to get through this cup? Well, you're going to need quite a few. And that's unfortunate because I had hoped that this only being a gold cup, it would require maybe 4 S6s and a decent amount of fusion, or maybe a little more S6s and less fusion. Now, obviously, if you have full S6, I know that some people have mentioned they can get through full S6 with green and blue fusions and no epics, which is great. Now, I haven't tested that myself, but I suspect that's possible. But here, the key with this car is that it doesn't do very well without nitrous. This is almost like the Hellcat in that you need nitrous in combination with something else to really beat the final time. The Facebook post already told me that the final time for this cup is about a 11.14. So if you can't hit under 11.14, you are not going to be able to beat the cup. And that's a problem because this car, unfortunately, does not get to 11.1s very easily without nitrous. Here I have essentially a fully maxed car with all the other stage 6s, except for nitrous. And let's take a look. Now, I haven't tuned it yet, but it's 11.24. I can tune it a little better with some adjustments. And hopefully get to 11.234. Now, that is a nearly fully maxed car missing just nitrous, and it is down to a 11.2, whereas the final cup time is a 11.1. Well, that's a problem because you're not going to beat it if you can't beat the time, right? So let's try driving this car now, see if it'll beat dyno at least. You have to ride out the wheel spin a little bit in the first gear, and then it's basically perfect shifts, nitrous in second. That's the best times I get is driving it this way. Now somebody, ooh, that might do it. I think that is actually right on what the final time, unless it's a 11.114. Okay, so I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take it on to the end without nitrous. So let's look at the stage 6s again. I'm going to show you real quick the stage 6s. I'm not going to show you individually, but I'm going to tell you right now, nitrous is big. Body is important. Body actually gives a decent amount of drop. But what's interesting is 12.4 is stock. And if you put in each of these individually, the car never gets under 12.0. So individually, each of these stage 6s gives it anywhere from a 0.2 to 0.3 and change, almost 0.4, including nitrous. It only shows about a 0.4 drop overall. But when you add them all together, all the others except for nitrous, the car runs 11.1. So that means to get under 11s, you need nitrous, and you can't be missing too much else either. So that's a pretty tough cup here if the final time is actually 11.1. Let's run these without nitrous and see how well I can do. If I get stuck at the end, then it tells you that you almost need a fully maxed car. Mind you, I'm also running full fusion. For the past gold cups, for the most part, I haven't had much of a problem getting through and getting getting through the cup itself all the way almost with just 4 stage 6s, as long as you get the right ones, sometimes 5, but needing 6 to 7 is something that I haven't really seen as much. I mean, obviously for the Evo Cup, you expect that, but for a regular Gold Cup, that's kind of extreme. Now, mind you, this is not a car that everybody had. In fact, a lot of people who played for a long time didn't have this car. So to expect everyone to have all the stage 6s and all the fusions, that's just not realistic. But of course, they're offering you crates, they're offering you chances to pull additional ones to strip. Well, guess what? I had 2 of these. I just stripped the one tonight, and guess what? I got 0 S6 out of it. So, getting an extra car isn't likely to be the benefit that you think it may be. Now, I was actually trying to pull an extra car for a different color, but not through gold keys. I actually got the extra car a while ago. When I got it in red as well, I kind of cringed a little bit and said, all right, well, at least I have an extra one. I can strip it later and hopefully get a extra stage 6 if I need it, just to see if I can get one. And unfortunately, I didn't. So what that tells you is that the extra stage 6 is not going to come easily from just stripping any car. And this car is hard enough to get as it is. So you're probably going to have to rely on bronze keys and pulling crates or patience and trying to get enough free ones to get through. So here on race 26, we're already looking at a 12.038. What I can tell you is this. To hit 12.038, you need nitrous. That'll get you about that. Without nitrous, you're going to need 2 or 3 stage 6s to get there. So that's already a pretty tough time. So if you don't have a fully upgraded car with enough stage 6, you're not even going to make this time. So let's move on to race 27. Here, that's a nice white Regera. I like that. That looks good. Again, I find if I get perfect launch and I shift right on the tip of perfect, well, shift lowerly, but right on the tip of perfect, I usually get my best runs out of the car. Now, there was somebody making a post today about something about there's a different shift starting point to get a better time. I'll look into that later, but as of right now, this has been the way I've been driving, and I'm not planning to change that at this point, because trying to learn a new technique just means I'll probably go slower for a while. And that one was a 11.157 because on one of the shifts I shifted a little early. You also have to get the launch right, or that'll screw you up too. So try to get this perfectly, and that is better. Now that is not better. No, that is better. Okay. So getting close. 11.147 against 11.38. Was that a 9? And I got a turbo. Ooh, useless. 386. The turbo is better than the intake, but it gives you only about a 10th drop. So turbo is not going to be a great S6 if you don't already have all the other ones. If you don't have nitrous, though, if you're missing 2 other S6s, even with full fusions, you may not get through the last race. All right, so here we go. Try to get as perfect a run as possible out of this car and hope that it's enough. Ooh, that's pretty close. How did I do there? All right. So, moment of truth, right? Am I going to be able to do this last race in one shot without nitrous? Or do I have to just bow my head, go back, get nitrous, and get it over with? So that if I put nitrous in, I'm basically only beating this with a fully maxed car. That is a difficult cup. This is not like a Gold Cup. This is more like a Evo Cup. But there's no 5-star car at the end of the rainbow. 10 gold keys rather than the last few Gold Cups where I think it was like 5 or 7 gold keys. Yes, yes. I beat him by a fender. I got him. Oh, it was even faster than I expected. 11.137 the opponent ran. So my 11.141 wouldn't have done it. Somehow I eked out a 11.131 on that run, and I did it. Now, mind you, again, this is with a car that is maxed out minus nitrous only. So, pretty crazy if you think about it. I put everything in, everything, except for this. I didn't put in one rear fusion for the engine. I'll show you why in a second. Let's put nitrous back in. Now, this car actually runs maxed, fully tuned, about a 10.55 as a world record. It can run 10.60 or 6.1s. I don't know what the world record tune was. I actually don't remember, but let's just put it to max evo and take a look at what it gives you. That's a nope. It should be better than that. Hold on. What am I doing wrong here? Probably needs some more nitrous. Or less. All right. Let's see. Yeah, 10.677 dyno. You know the car beats dyno a little bit. I drove it beating dyno earlier with without nitrous. So it beats dyno just a little bit, just enough that you should be able to get it under that time. And again, you have to drive it. See that little hop there is going to hurt my time. That's kind of a, I don't know what kind of glitch that is, but if you launch perfect, slightly off, or dead on, you get that little skip. I still got a 10.662, which isn't terrible, but it's not as good as it could be. A 10.60 something should be an easy thing to achieve versus a 10.55 something, which is a world record. That's not going to be as easy to achieve. So you're more likely to get like a 10 point, I was late. More than likely to get a 10.60 something with this car max. So what you see is that it jumps from a literally a 11.2 on the dyno to a 10.6 with just the nitrous being added back on. And that's a big deal. Now, why did I leave the rear engine part off? Because according to the world record information, without that rear engine fusion, the car's actually quicker. Most people that leave that car fully fusioned out can only hit about a 10.7, but taking out the fusion is what gets you down to this possible 10.55 runs. And again, I don't remember what the world record setup is. All I know is that, you know, it's quicker than I've ever driven the car, so I'm not holding my breath that I'll do it. But again, even without the world record tune, car is impressively fast. It's certainly decently quick and is one of the quicker tier 4s in the game. It was at one point the quickest, but Roman's BR9 has since taken that. Alright, so I'm actually making things worse now by launching later. So I guess the only thing I can try one more time is launching earlier, and that would be the last time I'm going to try to do anything time-wise with this car. Now, I actually use slightly different setup for this car. It runs very well in a lobby where it runs about 11.1, and that is a good spot for this car to be. It's pretty dominant in that lobby running about 11.1. So the car has different ways you can drive it to get a good time out of it. But the bottom line is it's a good car that can run almost as quick as the quickest cars in the lobby, but it is no longer the quickest. It's also an extremely rare car, even in real life. It's one of the more interesting cars Ferrari ever built. And I remember reading about this car that in the attempt to save weight, Ferrari actually made it so that this car did not have a door handle. It has some kind of a strap that you pulled on to open and close the door. So this is about as extreme a machine as was ever built by Ferrari. And it's certainly still respected today by many car enthusiasts. So if you do manage to get this car, just having it in your garage is a great thing. But beating this cup is not going to be as easy, especially as you've seen, it really pretty much requires a maxed car. All right, well, I wish you the best of luck with the Golden Cup. If you want to complain about it, feel free to complain on my video chat. I usually read them and respond. If you want to make comments or you had a different tune that did better or you had a better way of driving it, let me know. I never was that great at driving these cars, so I always learn something when a person comments on my video and says, hey, you should have driven it this way. So I'll be happy to learn something new. And subscribe to the channel so you can get my videos and updates when I post them. And finally, as always, thank you for watching.